Okay, good morning and welcome to Mishna Yomi. We're learning Masachas Terumos. Just started Masachas Terumos yesterday. We learned Mishnayos Beis and Gimel and Perek Aleph over here. Yesterday we mentioned that a cheresh can't take off truma, and if you take off truma, it's invalid. The Gemara says cheresh medaber v'eino shomea lo yitrom. Let's say he's a cheresh. Before yesterday we were talking about a cheresh who's eino medaber v'eino shomea. He can't hear and he can't speak. He's a deaf mute. Like the Rishonim explain over here, he's someone who was born deaf, and therefore, because he never heard anyone speak to him, he doesn't know how to speak, he doesn't know what words are. So, it seems like it excludes somebody who was born able to hear, and let's say two independent blemishes that he can't hear, and now he has surgery on his mouth, he can't speak. That technically would be okay. He shouldn't do it like hafila v'im taram. Truma so truma, but the evidence is good. The reason is because, we'll explain. The reason is technically he's not a sheri advantage. He has das. He can speak. He's an intelligent person. He just can't hear. So the reason that the Rav says is because he can't hear the bracha. He can't hear the bracha. It's supposed to be when you say a bracha, he's supposed to hear it. He can't say when you take off truma, say a bracha, la'afresh truma. So he shouldn't take it off because he's mevatel, being himself, being able to hear the bracha. Normally, when Chazal say a cheresh out of a katan, they're all possible for mitzvahs. They can't do certain things. It's talking about someone who's a deaf mute. He can't hear and he can't speak. And the way the Rishonim explain over here, he's deaf from birth, and therefore he never learned how to speak. There are exceptions to this rule, like in the Gemara says in Chagiga, and also in Yibam by Chalitza. We just started pairing Chalitza and Yivamos also. We'll see over there also. Cheresh even if he could speak, is still possible over there. Katan shelo yavi shtei saros. Mishna Gimel. Katan shelo yavi shtei saros. Let's say a katan, he didn't bring two saros. Yehuda omer truma to truma. He says under certain circumstances, truma would be a truma. He doesn't hold, obviously, this drasha that we had in Mishnah Aleph, Kol Ish, excluding a katan. I believe he would say we're talking about a katan shegiel, a chinuch over here, Shumasa Truma. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Imach Lobana, Onas Hadarim, Shumasa Truma, Mishabal Onas Hadarim, Shumasa Truma. If he came to the Onas Hadarim for a girl that's 11-year-olds in one day, for a boy, 12-year-olds in one day, he's a year away from bar mitzvah, so therefore he understands things. He understands about giving a neder, giving tzedakah, giving an adava, giving a neder. He understands this idea of contribution. So therefore, technically, the pasuk excludes a katan because it says, or excludes a cheresh and a shota, but it says sheri dvenu libo. Right, it has to be someone who gives. So he could technically, once he's onas darim, he has dvenu libo. He could have nadivas halev, and I guess he would agree technically with Rabbi Yehuda that probably katan, that once he's gil le chinuch, then he's okay, but he also needs an onas nadarim, so it shouldn't be a problem. Asher yidvenu liba, which would presumably exclude a katan also. We hold like Rabbi Yossi. We're going to explain Rabbi Yossi's shita more in Iyun HaMishnah coming up next.